Errol, last question for you. Talking with Derek yesterday. We know it's getting closer. I know you probably heard it so many times. The Crawford fight. Everybody here comes up to you, keeps on talking about, hey, we got the money on you. We got the money on you. A lot of us feel that that fight is going to be closer than before due to him leaving Top Rank and he's being a free agent. Just a quick hint of maybe we're going to get the fight by the end of this year or possibly next year.
I mean, it's closer than it's ever been. So, if it don't happen now, it's never gonna happen. So, it's way closer than what it used to be. So, I think it's definitely gonna happen.
Frank, as a fighter.
There you go then, people. Now, before we get into ERROL Spence flippy flopping, let's give a big shout out to my doggy Thunders Productions for coming through and boosting up your man the YB coin. No doubt about it. Now, on to today's video. So, we just heard from Errol, Mr. Flip Flop having ass, Spence. Now, I'm sure some of you man are gonna say, oh, YB, Spence said it definitely gonna happen. Listen, you man should know by now. The YB is a #1 behavioural analysis cat. Yeah? And what I want you man to do is read between the lines. What did Mr. Spence say? Oh man, if it doesn't happen now, it's never gonna happen. Which is it then? Is it done? Yeah? Or is it never gonna happen now? It never gonna. You know what I mean? That to me is a massive contradiction. So think about it. Put yourself in his shoes. Yeah? You're about to sign this fight. Well, you've been going back and forth in negotiations. Yeah? Everything's looking good. How does, if it doesn't happen now, it's never going to happen, how does that come into your mouth? I just don't understand that. I don't get at any level why would you need to say that for? You said it's definitely going to happen. I don't know about you, but if I'm definitely going to do something, if something's definitely going to get done, well, if it doesn't get now, it's never going to happen. How does that even come into your mind? I'll tell you how it comes into your mind. It comes into your mind when these guys, I think that's what ERROL Spence is hoping. He hoping it don't happen this time, so he can say, oh, it didn't happen this time, told you, it's not happening again. So I've been telling you, man, this is a common trait with these cats these days. Yeah? They pray for things not to happen. And then they can both scurry off and say, oh man, we tried, and he said, she said. That's what they love. They love when fights fall through, and they can book a bum and say, well, we tried, and that's what I got the feeling. I'm sorry, people, I'm sorry. That's how I feel. Yeah, you can say it's closer than ever and closer than ever, and then saying, if it don't happen now, it's never going to happen. Why? Explain that to me. What do you mean? If it doesn't happen now, it's never going to happen. Why not? If it doesn't happen now, why can't it happen in a year then? I guess you could say, well, maybe it's because the stars won't align in a year. How do you know they won't align in a year? Maybe it's because Spence means he's going to be moving up in a short time, and therefore he won't be at 147, but apparently Bud wants some of that 154 smoke as well. And I gotta be honest, to be fair to Spence, at least we're hearing from Spence, although it was by chance. His fighter, Frank Matthews, this cat here, he fought at the weekend, and that's when ERROL Spence got cornered, because ERROL Spence promotes this Frank Matthews cat. Yeah? But still, all I'm saying is I find it suspect. Now, I'm sure there'll be some of you fan cats, yeah, who say, oh, YB, no. He said, yeah, it's going to happen. Listen, and I've been scorned by this game. And I live by now. I believe it when I see it. When the fight gets signed, and to be honest, even then, what happened last time ERROL Spence signed a big fight against Pacquiao? Oh, he ill. I hurt. Yeah? So even then, even if it gets signed, I'll believe it when the bell goes. I'll believe it or on fight day, it's normally a given. Yeah, I'll believe it when it's fight night. How about that? Because I don't know, I get a bad feeling. I don't know. What I'm saying is, yeah, why is it taking so long? What is there? Think about it. We're not living in the 1400s. Oh well, we've got to wait for the pigeon. These dudes, yeah, they have the same team. Email is instantaneous. So what? I just don't get that. What can there be? Sit down one day. Or maybe not, even by email. I can send you an email in 5 minutes. Yeah, one email. You can go back and forth. I've had it myself. When I've been ordering some product and there's been problems. You can do like 5, 6, 7, 10 emails in a day back and forth. Solving problems. And that's just email. These dudes really could be sitting in person for the amount of money they're making, flying to each other, sitting down, hashing it out over a weekend. Why can't they do that? I don't get. For this such a big fight, yeah. In my opinion, I'd say, listen, both people will meet in a neutral location at a hotel, rent a hotel and rent a conference room, and let's sit down and hash this out over a weekend, rather than wasting all of our time for 4 months only for it not to happen anyway. And that's why I find it odd with the whole boxing business process. It's renowned for these kind of things, where communication breaks down and it takes months and it... Why? Go sit down in a hotel for 2 days and commit to it there and then. At least then we'll know. At least then you can say, listen people, we sat down for 2 days and it's clear we can't get it done. I'm sorry people, yeah, but it's too easy to hide on email. Oh, I didn't get your email. I can, innit? If you send someone an email, yeah, and they're nervous or scary, they can just ignore it and or take hours to get back to you. Oh, sorry, didn't see it for 4 days. And I'm sure that's why these things are so slow. Yeah? Errol Spence's team sends an email. Terence Crawford's team takes 5 days getting back. Go to a hotel and sit down. And that's, to be honest with you, yeah, in any other business, so for example, if you're involved in management consulting or if you're involved in investment banking, yeah, guess what? And you're doing a big deal, both parties, both parties who are involved in the structuring of the deal sit down. It's not done over email. They sit down and they hash it out for big deals. Yeah? Because you have to. You can't. Emails should be used for arranging a date and a time to sit down. It's not meant to be used as a tool to hash out real details. These boxing dons, though, like I said, though, they're happy for fights to flop, bottom line. Yeah, and the fact Errol Spence is talking about, oh, if it don't happen, it's not going to happen now. It's almost like he's happy. Oh, yeah, see, guys, if it don't happen now, I'm out of that one. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, if it don't happen now, then I don't have to fight Spence, don't have to fight Crawford anymore. Why is that a rule? What do you mean if it don't happen now, it won't happen? Why is that? Who made that rule then? Because from what I understand, the universe might have a fixed speed of light, yeah, but the universe does not have a fixed, if it don't happen now, it won't ever happen. That's a rule you've made for yourself, and the question is, people, why is Errol Spence giving himself that rule? If it don't happen now, it won't ever happen. Like I said, optimists can say, well, maybe it's because he's really... You could flip it round and say, well, he's really optimistic it's going to happen this time. So if it wasn't to happen, it'd be a shock, and that would mean it's just completely impossible. But how can it be completely impossible? How is that? How is that completely impossible? Now, there are some murmurings that Crawford wants 50%. So I guess really, if Crawford's being stubborn at 50%, he's not worth 50%. I guess that could just be it, couldn't it? Terence Crawford wants 50. I don't believe he's worth that, and I'm sorry, he's not. He hasn't got the belts. He hasn't got the money. This for me is a prime example of a 60-40 fight. Don't forget, Tyson Fury already did this. Tyson Fury fought Wilder. They had similar levels of profile, but Wilder had a belt. Fury took 40%. Yeah, so this whole prima donna, and that's what I'd like to hear. That's why I don't like this closed off thing as well. All this negotiation should be public, in my opinion. Ryan Garcia was right, even though he a capper and ain't trying to fight no one himself, but still, Ryan Garcia is right. These things should be public, so we can see who's saying what. And the fact that it's so closed off does make me skeptical. Maybe in a week it's going to get done. I did a video yesterday. Custer. Yeah, Custer Don. The Showtime executive Custer, Brian Custer. He let slip, apparently it's done. Spence don't sound so convinced. Yeah? Because I don't know about you, if I had a fight that was done, I would never say, if it don't get done now, it's never going to get done. That just wouldn't come into my head, because it'd be done, wouldn't it? Oh, it's on. We're just looking for a date. It wouldn't never happen this time. So we wouldn't need to talk about if it doesn't. If it doesn't happen now, that means I don't ever have to fight Terence Crawford again. That's all I heard in this statement. But in all fairness, the rest of it, apart from that Freudian slip, the rest of it was somewhat positive. He said, I'm pretty sure this is, if we listen to the last part again.
And now it's never going to happen. So, it's way closer than what it used to be. So, I think it's definitely going to happen.
It's way closer than it used to be. Bro, it used to be you're on a different side of the street, so it can't be done. That's where they both used to stand. They both used to stand saying, oh man, we're on different sides of the street, so it can't happen. So I'm sorry, people. Forgive me for not taking much from that. Oh, it's closer than it's ever been. That don't say much when you're both on opposite sides of the street, and which meant it could never happen. Yeah, so no shit, innit? No shit, it's closer than ever. Because it was 10 miles apart before. So, after hearing what Spencer said, he flipped floppy in my opinion. I mean, one more time.
Right now, it's never gonna happen. So, it's way closer than what it used to be. So, I think it's definitely gonna happen.
It's way closer than it used to be. So, I think it's gonna happen. I mean, he has to say it, doesn't he? Let's be real now. He ain't gonna come out and say it's not happening, is he? And at this point, he has to say that. So, again, I'll believe it when I see it. All I'm saying is, I don't know. Let's end of the day, man. All we can do at this point is post up and wait, one way or the other. Yeah. For me at the moment, probabilistically, yeah, probability terms, I'd say 50%, 50-60% chance it gets done, which is right. Errol Spence in that regard is right. That's closer than it's ever been. But 60% is 60%. That means it's half a chance it don't happen. Let's see anyway. But in fact, before I go, one thing I do want to say, don't forget, people, Spence could have been said, yeah, man, this fight gonna happen because it's the only fight I want. Yeah, I'll do anything to make this fight. Do you know what I'm saying? Little things like that. We didn't hear that. Yeah, this fight's gonna get done because I want this fight, and I'm gonna make this fight happen. And I'm not blaming Errol Spence because Crawford for me is as bad as Spence. He ain't saying nothing, equally, but still, all we can take is who's in front of the camera now. Yeah, I can roast Crawford later, but the point is, people, why didn't we see Spence saying, listen, man, I'm all in for this fight. Never mind, if it doesn't happen now, it won't never happen. I ain't trying to hear that. All I'm trying to hear is Crawford. I want him badly. I'm dreaming about Crawford. I've got a proper hard-on for Crawford. Yeah? He's the only man he's the only man for me. Do you know what I'm saying? Why can't he be saying them kind of things? Pause. He ain't saying that. He's saying, well, it's closer than it used to be, and if that happened now, it's never gonna happen. Dead. Yeah? And Crawford's the same kind of guy. I guarantee you, I'm pretty sure a month ago or a few weeks ago, Crawford had an interview, and it was similar. Oh man, we working behind the scenes, and yeah, no, working behind the scenes is fine, but tell the fans what you want. Notice in this whole interview, we don't hear nothing about how much Spence wants it. Do you understand? Innit? We don't. Why can't we? Confidence for me is when you hear fighters want it. I know it. He should be saying, I know it's going to happen because I ain't fighting no one else. I've told Al to make this fight. Don't forget, people, when it's like Tank Davis. When Tank Davis tells Floyd to make the fight with Bumero, don't forget as well, that fight fell through and they made the rematch. Yeah? Tank told Floyd, I want the rematch. It gets done. That's, you know what I mean? Spence could tell Al Heyman, I ain't trying to hear nothing else. Get it done. They ain't say that. Instead, oh well, if it happened now, I'm gonna move on. Yeah, his mind thinking about moving on. That there is a behavioural slip. Oops. But let's see anyway, man. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm super duper wrong. But let's see.